You are an intelligent professional. You have experience, you have knowledge, you're highly qualified, but there's one thing that's standing in your way. There's one thing that's slowing you down or holding you back. What is it? It's your speech. It's your communication skills, your verbal communication skills. My name is Michael Williams, and today you and I are going to talk about how your speech that may have been holding you back for many years can go from being one of your greatest liabilities to being one of your greatest assets. You have probably been missing out on getting the jobs that you want and deserve, getting the promotions that you want or deserve, from having the kinds of relationships that you want and having those deep conversations that you want. You've been missing out on having the kinds of social experiences that you've wanted to have. But guess what? The good news is that you don't have to continue. In a relatively short period of time, listen, your entire life can be different. We're talking about your professional life, your personal life, your social life, how you feel about yourself. All of that can be different. Many of my clients have worked with me, and while we were working together, they went out and got the jobs that they wanted, and they got their original investment back plus some, right? And so if you've been out there struggling with your speech for years, and you've been looking for ways to improve your communication skills, and you haven't been able to get any traction, or you haven't been able to find something that actually works long term, that doesn't just help you overcome, for example, stuttering or stammering, or stop speaking so fast or whatever. You haven't been able to find something that gives you that traction and long-term results. Then I want you to listen to this video, because I'm just going to be wrapping up a series that we've been going through. So if you haven't seen this series, that is how to up-level your speech, right? How to up-level your speech. And I want you to go back and watch each of the sessions, as they are very important. I'm going to be giving you a review today of what we talked about, but do go back and watch the series, because I won't be going into detail. So the question is, how can you take your speech to that next level? Because when you take your speech to the next level, guess what else you're doing? You're taking your entire life to the next level. And more than likely, depending on who you are and what your goals are and what you feel called to do, you're also going to be taking the lives of other people to a whole nother level. Okay? So when you get your voice and you're able to say the things that you want to say and do the things that you're called to do, you can then positively impact the lives of other people. Whereas right now you may be holding back. You may, well, I can't really do that, or I can't get out there and do it. I can't go for this. I can't create this. But once your speech opens up, then your entire life opens up. All of the opportunities open up. And now you start to see possibilities that you either never saw before, or you just didn't quite believe that they were going to happen for you. But now they can, and in a relatively short period of time. So let's review what we've talked about. The pathway for you to get from wherever you are now, doesn't matter where you are now, to where you want to be, is that you have to change three things. Number one, you have to change the way that you speak, your speaking style, your pattern of speaking. And that's what we focused on in this series. But you also have to change your mindset, or the way that you think. Because you and I both know that it's not just about how you speak, but it's also about how you think, right? How you think and how often you think it. How you think about yourself, how you think about your speaking situations, how you anticipate your speaking situations, how you review your speaking situations. That is, I really screwed up then, beating yourself up. So you have to change not only your speaking style, that's what we call it in Pro 90D, but your mindset, so the way that you think, and you also have to change your speaking identity. This is who and how you see yourself as a speaker, who you believe yourself to be as a speaker. We also call this your identity, or your self-concept, who you believe you are as a speaker. So you may say, well, I tend to do this. Or you may think, in this situation or in these situations, I tend to speak this way. I tend to mess up. I tend to get stuck. I tend to block, right? That's your identity. That's who you believe yourself to be in those speaking situations, who you believe yourself to be as a speaker, as a communicator. So what Pro90D does is a holistic and science-based system that is relying upon the science of neuroplasticity and habit formation and so forth. We help you create a new or replace your current speaking style with a new one, replace your current mindset with a new one, and replace your current identity with a new one. Today, we're just going to review your speaking style. That's what we've been working on. And then in a future series, we'll talk about mindset and then identity. Okay, so let's do a review. So I kind of laid out a little acronym here for you, CPU, right, to help you remember the 3 steps that you need to take to create your new speaking style. So the first one is create your new speaking style. And then we said, how do you do it? Pro90D uses modeling, which is something very, very natural. You did it to learn your first language and perhaps other languages. You and I still model every day, believe it or not, and we may not necessarily know it. So modeling is very natural. Some people say, oh, well, that doesn't really work. Or well, you already do it, and you've already done it. So it's very natural. It's innate. It's from what we call observational learning. It's just something that we do naturally. So we use it. We harness the power of modeling to help you create your new speaking style. The next one is we have a set of proactive speaking skills. These are the skills that people who speak very well use. Okay, these are the skills that you'll see people use who speak very well. So we have them outlined and we show you how to develop these skills. And these skills are also all a part of modeling. So when you model, you're using all of these skills, but we also break them down. And then the next step that we talked about is practicing, right? So we talked about modeling, talked about what modeling is and how to model, and then we talked about practicing. So once you create your new speaking style, you then have to practice it, because if you don't practice it, it won't become natural and automatic, right? You need to reach a level of automaticity so you don't have to think about it. It just becomes the way that you speak. So we talked about what it means to practice, how to practice, talked about using modeling and our free flow speaking exercise. And we have some other things that you can do as well to help you practice. And then the third one, what was the third one? It's use, right? So we talked about 3 steps that you can use, and we actually use the word use to help you remember that. So the first one is you want to use your new speaking style all the time. If you don't use it all the time, that neuroplasticity is not going to kick in. Hebb's law, we talked about Hebb's law and how that works. So go back and watch that video, but it's not going to kick in if you don't try and then use your new speaking style all the time. And then we talked about stress testing your new speaking style. So you have to use it under pressure, or else when you get under pressure, everything goes out the window and it just breaks down. So you got to stress test it. And then you have to expose yourself, which just means getting out and speaking to different people in as many different speaking situations as possible. Yes, it's related to stress testing, but it's a little more expansive. So it's not just speaking to people or speaking in high pressure speaking situations. It's speaking to all different kinds of people in all different kinds of speaking situations, as many as you can expose yourself to. And what this does is, along with the stress testing, is it desensitizes you. It also creates memories and successes. If you're using your new speaking style, if you're practicing it and you're using it, you will start speaking smoother. You will start creating more successes, right? And your memory, the memories that you create from those experiences, your brain will be able to go back and pull from those memories and say, wow, we did a really good job there. We did better there. Oh, we did better over here. So then when you find yourself in similar speaking situations, your brain can go back and say, how did we speak the last time? Oh, we spoke better. How did we speak over here when we were speaking to this person in this position, or to these many people? Your brain, oh, we spoke pretty well. So it's very important to expose yourself. All right, so we got those 3 steps, right, to use, and then we talked about the 3 steps to create. So the first one was what? Create your new speaking style. We showed you how. The next one is what? The P, which is to practice your new speaking style so it becomes automatic. And then we showed you how. And then the third one is to what? Use your new speaking style. And we gave you 3 steps to do that. Now, the question is, what are you going to do next? So if you're watching this video, it's probably because you have been struggling and you've been looking for solutions. Some of you have been watching my videos for years. I've been out there for more than a decade putting out these videos. I've been coaching full-time. That's all that I do. I don't have any other businesses full-time for the last decade, actually a little more than a decade. And I have tens of thousands of Udemy students and tens of thousands of students and thousands of coaching clients that I've worked with. And so we're refining the system. We've cracked the code to help you overcome stuttering, stammering, fast speaking. What if you don't stutter or stammer? This system works for you. If you struggle to articulate your thoughts clearly and smoothly and confidently, especially under pressure, the system works for you. And so the system is designed so that it doesn't matter where you're starting from, but it helps you become an excellent speaker, an excellent communicator. So that's the thing that you want to be shooting for, is turning your speech or transforming your speech, converting your speech from a liability to what? To an asset, to one of your greatest assets. And I've had clients who've come in recently and said that people have said, wow, that was a great interview. I can't believe that someone actually said that you weren't very confident, because we saw a lot of confidence. I've had clients say that interviewers have said, that was a great interview. That was a great interview, right? Where usually they're not going to say, that's a great interview. They say, okay, no, nod, no, right? They'll get back with you. We've had people do presentations, people who are doctors and PhDs, and people have applauded them and said, that was great. One of our coaches, same thing. He did a presentation amongst a whole class full of people, and they said, you were the best. And they said, that was a great presentation. Here's someone who stuttered all of his life, could barely, in fact, he stood up in front of an audience, a similar audience, and wasn't able to say anything, just left the stage. And now people are clapping. Great presentation. So I always give the example of the difference between Pro 90D and some other programs, and even therapy, is that our goal is not just to help you overcome something, right? We're not just treating something. What we want to do is to help you go above and beyond, become an excellent speaker. So it's the difference between a person who just doesn't stutter, they give a presentation, that's okay. No one's going to say, oh, wow, that was an amazing presentation just because the person didn't stutter. But then you have someone who stuttered and who's worked on their speech. They've gone through Pro 90D, for example. They give a presentation. People are like, wow, that was amazing, right? So who gets the applause? Of the person that gave the great presentation. Same thing with a job. You get someone, you get 2 people, equally qualified, same background, everything's the same. They're both males, they're both females, whatever, right? They go into a job. One person doesn't stutter, but one person's an excellent speaker. Who's going to get that job? All things being equal, the person who's an excellent communicator is going to get that job. Doesn't matter the experience, the background, the knowledge. It's the person who's able to communicate and articulate that experience and knowledge. Makes sense, right? So if you've been struggling with your speech, I'm here to tell you that you don't have to continue. You can do something about it. And this can happen within 90 days, right? It's not 90 days and you're done, because your speech is a skill. It's something that you're going to continue to develop for your entire life, just like me. But within 90 days, you can see a massive, huge transformation in your speech and life if you put in the work. You got to put in the work, or else it doesn't work. So I want to invite you and I want to encourage you to join us. Now, you can join us in 2 ways. You can do the self-study. But the fact of the matter is, when people do the self-study, they generally take longer, but maybe the self-study is all you can afford, or maybe you just want to start with the self-study. That's perfectly fine. Just understand it generally takes people longer to get to where they want to go. I've actually found that sometimes it takes people 10 times longer. So a person can take 2 years to get to the same place where you and I can get working together in a couple of months. Okay, I've seen that so many times, just because I've been doing this for over a decade. So if you want to get to your goal of smooth speech as quickly as possible and as easily as possible, the fastest, easiest way is to work with us one-on-one. And I say us because there's two of us now. There's myself and there's Farouk. And so Farouk has had great success with his coaching clients. And so you can work with either one of us. It's perfectly fine. You're going to get very, very high level of coaching from the both of us because it's a system and it works. Some of you are going to prefer to work with me for whatever reason, and some of you will prefer to work with Farouk. Perfectly fine. So make a decision. Look at this not as a cost, not as an expense, but as an investment, because it truly is an investment. And in fact, this will be, if not the most intelligent and best investment you ever make, it will be one of the top investments you ever make in your entire life. Probably the most important, because it impacts and will change your life in so many different ways. And it's the one that keeps giving you returns. You keep getting returns from your speech, because once you invest in your speech and you become an excellent speaker, it positions you so that you're now more respected. Your health is better because you feel better. You're not as stressed and anxious and worried all the time. Your social life is better. Your personal life, your relationships get better because now you can communicate your thoughts and ideas. You can defend yourself when you need to. Your career is absolutely better. People see you. They admire you and respect you for your intelligence. You're able to get the jobs you want. If you're self-employed, you're able to get more sales, obviously, right? And so it impacts your entire life, and you start earning what you're worth. You start earning more money when you improve your communication skills. So it's an investment. It's not a cost. It's not an expense. It's an investment. If you don't see it like an investment, then don't do it. If you're like, no. Only do it if you see this as an investment and if you're willing to do the work. Thank you so much for watching this video. I want to encourage you to get started right now, because waiting, kicking the can down the road means that you're literally, right, not figuratively, you're literally losing opportunities and losing money. Right? The longer you wait to work on your speech, the more opportunities you miss, the more opportunities you lose, the more money you actually lose. And when people jump around and try different programs, so let me see if I can find something cheaper, let me see if I can find something faster, you end up literally wasting your money, right? I'm not saying there aren't other good programs out there. I'm just saying if you believe in Pro 90D and you believe in the science and you believe the people that you see on the videos, you search the internet, you say, this is good, let me see if I can find something similar that's cheaper. Trust me, you probably won't, and you're probably going to waste money and waste time. So it's your decision. It's one that you have to make. But if you believe in the process, you believe in the science, and quite frankly, if you believe in me, right, and you believe that I can help you. I used to stutter growing up, stuttered for the first 30 years of my life, roughly, right, mid to late 20s. Stuttered, stammered, geared my life towards my speech, but didn't really let it hold me back, but still struggled with it. Stumbled upon a way to overcome it, and much later in life decided that I wanted to do something on my own. I felt called to do this, and so I created a system, and I've been refining the system ever since I did that back in the mid-2000s, or actually early 2000s. It's been working on the system since, I don't know, 2007 or 8, something like that. Like I launched my first YouTube videos around 2008 or so. I've been working on the system and refining it from feedback and from science and from experience ever since then. And so what you're getting is the very best that can be had in terms of improving your speech. So understand that I understand where you're coming from personal experience, and I understand where you're coming from having worked with people from all over the globe that speak multiple languages and various disciplines. Many of our clients happen to be doctors, attorneys. Most of our clients are engineers. They're in the IT industry. But we've had all different clients. We've helped children, right? So we've helped just about everyone from all over the world. We can help you too. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the inside. I want you to go ahead and click whatever links are in or around the video. You can check out all the information on the packages. You want to go ahead and take advantage of the discounts that we have right now, because those will be going away. I don't know exactly when, but they'll be going away pretty soon. So you can purchase the package. If you feel like this is going to work for me, let me reserve my seat. You can purchase now and start later, or you can purchase now and start now. We just have to look, fit you into our schedule. Or you can book an assessment session if you need to meet with me, but only do that if you are ready to move forward, but you just have some questions. Don't book it if you think you're going to do it in 6 months or a year. Wait until that time. Why? Because my schedule is very busy, and we'd really rather that you do your research. We have lots of videos. You look at your research and then you say, you know what? I have the money, I'm ready, but I just want to speak with I just want to speak with Farouk first. Okay? Thank you. We'll see you on the inside.